636 billion shillings in midterm access. And also in Education Expo excites teachers and learners. Kawempe Fire Ministry deepens. Find out how this has deepened in today's New Vision. In Kakumi, over 8,000 peasants to get titles. And on the tourists' rape case, cops face disciplinary actions. And there are very many tenders and job opportunities in today's New Vision. Right now, allow me take you into today's international news update. I'll now be joined by Livingstone Kawesi for our brothers that need sign language interpretation and translation. We'll start with what's happening in Africa. Market traders in the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo have expressed dismay at being forced to dismantle their stores ahead of the visit by Pope Francis. Officials in Kinshasa say they are making the streets clean and tidy in time for the Pope's arrival at the end of the month. Some traders complained that the police, using crowbars and bulldozers, had been heavy-handed. They also said many people had lost all their goods. The affected streets include Lumumba Boulevard, the main thoroughfare from the airport, on which a gala welcome will be staged for Pope Francis. But hawkers are angry that they are also being forced out of the side streets around the city. Moving on, the International Police Agency, Interpol, has issued a red notice for foreign nations to arrest a military officer accused of plotting to overthrow the government in the Gambia last month. The red notice for the low-ranking Gambian officer Lamin Jadama means that 8 officers have now been identified as suspects in the alleged coup plot. Gambia officials say he is a fugitive from justice, and any person caught aiding or colluding with him will be dealt with according to law. 7 of the accused, including the alleged ringleader Lance Corporal Sana Fadera, have been arrested. They appeared in the High Court in the capital Banjul on charges of treason and conspiracy to commit felony. 2 civilians and a police officer were also caught in court on charges of treason and concealment of treason. The accused were expected to file a plea, but this did not happen. Instead, the case was postponed as the state did not file its indictment, and 2 of the accused soldiers did not have legal representation. Justice Basiru Mahoney ordered the state to file the indictment by 23rd of January. He also ordered the 2 unrepresented soldiers to get lawyers or for the state to provide them with legal aid. In Nigeria, the general election will go ahead on the 25th of February, despite concerns about a postponement because of insecurity in parts of the country, according to the election chief, Mahmoud Yakubu. This was despite warning a week ago that rising insecurity could force the polls to be cancelled or delayed. Professor Yakubu was speaking at an event organized by the Chatham House think tank in London. Nigerians are set to elect a new president at the end of February, then will elect governors and local councillors 2 weeks after. These elections come as the country is experiencing a spate of mass kidnappings, banditry, religious and ethnic tensions, as well as violent agitations for independence in several parts of the country. According to Professor Yakubu, 93.4 million people have registered to vote in the elections, with more than 74 million between the ages of 18 and 49. Elsewhere in the world, an alleged leader of a criminal network involved in an EU corruption scandal has agreed to reveal which countries were involved and how it operated. A lawyer for Pier Antonio Panzeri said his client had agreed to tell all after reaching a deal with the prosecutors. The former member of the European Parliament is one of the 4 suspects being held in Belgium. They are suspected of accepting bribes from Qatar and Morocco in return for influencing the parliament in Brussels. Qatar strenuously denied that it tried to gain influence through gifts and money, while Moscow has also strongly rejected allegations that it sought influence on issues such as fishing rights and the disputed status of the Western Sahara. And in Europe, Ukrainian presidential advisor Oleksiy Arestovich has offered his resignation after suggesting a Russian missile which hit a building in Dnipro, killing 44 people, was shot down by Kyiv. Mr. Arestovich apologized and said he had made a fundamental error. The original remark caused widespread anger in the country and was used by Russian officials to blame Ukraine. The advisor is a well-known figure because of his daily updates on YouTube, watched by millions. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has not yet commented on Mr. Arestovich's decision to resign. And in the United Kingdom, ministers are facing a clash with opposition and Conservative members of Parliament over their plans to scrap EU-era laws copied over to UK law after Brexit. Under government proposals, thousands of laws are due to expire automatically after December unless specifically kept or replaced. It has prompted concerns that important legislation could lapse by accident. Labour wants to push to the end of year deadline back to 2026, urging that it will ensure employment rights are retained. And several Tory backbenchers, including former Brexit Secretary David Davis, are backing an attempt to give members of Parliament a greater say over what is scrapped. And moving on, prospective jurors in a civil lawsuit against Elon Musk have expressed mixed views of the Tesla boss, with some calling him smart and others saying he is off his rocker. Mr. Musk, who is being sued by Tesla shareholders, urging him manipulated Tesla share price, have said he cannot get a fair trial in San Francisco. The case centers of his 2018 tweet that he would take Tesla private. U.S. regulators removed Mr. Musk as Tesla chairman because of the post. On the 7th of August 2018, he tweeted that he had funding secured to take the car maker private in what would be a $72 billion buyout. No such deal went ahead. And still about Elon Musk, Twitter has placed hundreds of items from its San Francisco headquarters up for auction online. A statue of the platform's famous bird logo is currently priced at $11,000 with just under 24 hours left to bid. A 190-centimeter planter in the shape of an art symbol is already fetching $4,300. The sale comes as new owner Elon Musk slimmed down Twitter following his $44 billion purchase of the company last year. Since taking over in late October, Mr. Musk has laid off around half of the company's 7,500 staff. Well, this brings us to the end of this morning's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I'm glad you are tuned in. The Pastors Now program is up next. Stay tuned to Channel 44 and enjoy great testimonies and great revelations of what has been happening in our presence, in our midst here at the Miracle Center Cathedral. Otherwise, we'll meet again at 12:45. Stay tuned to Channel 44 and God bless you.